Okay, so welcome to the third episode of the Ghostcast 3, for lack of a better name. I think we're still going with that. And this is the most requested episode by far. Everybody's been talking to me about having Fun Nightmare and Sickening over, and I'm glad that they were able to find the time in their busy schedules to join. I'll let you guys say hi.
Yo, what's up?
Yo.
And if you guys, I mean, most of the people that follow the channel and most of the people that watch these episodes, usually, I think they're pretty well versed as far as who is who in the community, and I think you guys are two of the most notorious players for just, being constantly top of the leaderboards and like your individual sort of achievements with stuff like platinum solos and stuff like that. But I was actually, before I forget, because this is a question that I wanted to have on each episode, and it's not really that important, so don't feel like you have to go deep or anything. But I forgot to ask it at the end of the last one with Liquid and 70, and I just was curious, is there any significance to your login, like your PSN?
Honestly, bro, I made it when I was like 12 or 13, and I just never changed it.
Okay.
It just kind of stuck after that, yeah. Like some edgy teenager type shit. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Sickening, I don't know. I just made it up on the fly, like I was like 17. But it sounded kind of cool, so I don't know.
So I guess basically the same thing, just like something you guys were not really thinking about something that was meaningful to you, was just something that sounded cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it wasn't anything crazy.
Okay,
anything
cool.
huge behind it.
Okay, cool. I was, first of all, I think this is the one of the things that come up the most, like for people that, at least the people that comment on my channel, as far as Ghost of Yote, do you guys have any expectations, just generally speaking?
Like for story or Legends? Potentially Legends,
No,
I guess.
for Ghost of Yote, when I will get into Legends too, but just for like Ghost of Yote itself, yeah.
I think it's going to play pretty similar. I doubt there's going to be like huge gameplay changes. Maybe like the actual tools and instruments used are different, but the actual core gameplay is going to be very similar. In terms of like, besides that, I mean, we'll see what they do with like the story. I mean, it's completely different now, right? It's like 200, 300 years in the future. So like no relevance at all. Maybe like a special shout out to Jin, whatever they want to do with it. But like from there, it's like complete like creative liberty that they have.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure whether they could take it.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be good.
But I just hope the gameplay is similar.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Were you guys... Sorry, Sick, what were you saying?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good. They always knock it out of the park with their PlayStation exclusives.
Which one thing that I was thinking about recently was the fact that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty new to like gaming in general. Like I was, I played video games when I was a kid, and then I didn't really play once I
What was your first game?
My first game, like as an adult, because like I used to.
No, like when you played as a kid. Like what was your first game?
My first oh my God, my first game as a kid was probably, what is it, Moon Patrol, I think it was called. It was like an Atari
Moon
game.
Patrol?
Yeah, it's like an old...
Oh, Atari, bro.
Yeah.
That's ancient, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm probably closer to like your parents' age than your age. So excuse the references. But yeah, as a kid, as probably Moon Patrol, it was this little car, if I remember correctly, would just like jump over these little obstacles, and then you would shoot like things in front of you. That's the first one I remember. But the first game that caught my attention, like kind of, and like big time, was Super Mario 1, and then I played Super Mario 2 and 3, and then I did some, basically like I broke my cousin's stereo, and my mom was like, "Were you gonna pay for that?" And she sold my Nintendo. So
Damn.
yeah.
So moms are not playing.
Yeah, she's my Mexican moms. They don't fuck around. But yeah, so like after that, I remember going to the arcade like maybe when I was like in like around middle school age, and I was pretty good at Mortal Kombat, and that's kind of when I stopped because I got into like skateboarding and punk rock, and just no. I mean, not that I didn't enjoy the video games that were popular at the time, but I just consumed my time, like going to shows and hanging out with friends and skateboarding. That kind of, like most of my adult life was spent doing that. And then when I was like in my 30s, I was trying to buy something like a Blu-ray player that had like streaming apps. And I was like, well, what can I get? Like the most bang for my buck is if I get a PS3 because I can also play games if I want to. And it came with Last of Us 1. And so I ended up playing that game, and it kind of blew my mind.
Yeah,
because,
that game.
Dude.
That game, bro. It's different.
What about you guys? What was your first, like...
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm sure that... Yeah.
My first game was Black Ops 1 on the Wii.
Oh,
and that game was so cool, bro, because you could like, when you were holding the gun, like you could turn it sideways and stuff with the Wii controller.
Oh, that's right. They had those controllers.
Yeah. Black Ops 1, goated.
Bro, on the Wii.
Goated campaign, bro, on the Wii. And some MLB.
Nice.
Stuff like that.
Nice. What about you?
Probably fire.
What about you, Nightmare?
Bro, I think it was... Oh my God! Maybe it was Legend of Zelda. Maybe it was Ocarina of Time. I think it was Ocarina of Time.
Damn.
On the Nintendo 64. But I was like very young, bro. Maybe I was like 4, 5, 6. Like I could barely even. Barely even knew what was going on. I don't know if you guys ever played it, but it was like once you get to the water temple, all the shit just goes sideways. Like you don't even know what the fuck's going on anymore. You just quit. But I eventually went back. I beat it and all that. But yeah, that was my first game. I think it was Ocarina of Time.
What about like your first like game that you really kind of like I was saying? I remember my
that
first
I got
games.
into like for real.
Yeah.
It's probably Destiny. You know Destiny?
Destiny, yeah, of course.
Yeah. I played the shit out of that, bro. Like I want to say for a solid 3 years, nothing but Destiny. To this day, bro, my friends list, which is probably like, 500, whatever the hell number it is now. Bro, like 200 of those people are from Destiny. Not people that I know personally, but Destiny is like, it's like raids and stuff. So you just add people for like a day and like you do a raid with them. And then you kind of just forget about them after. You forget to delete them. They just all pile up. That's basically what went down. But yeah, that was my first like legit game, I'd say.
But was that the same for you, Sig? Like Black Ops was the first one you got really into?
Yeah, honestly, Call of Duty. I got really into COD for a while.
How old were you when you were playing those?
Like 10, 12, started playing.
And before that, you don't remember like playing anything else?
No, before that, I don't remember playing anything, bro.
How did you? I'm actually curious. Did you guys like? What was your first contact with video games? Was it like something like a console was bought at your household, or was it like at a friend's house?
Yeah, so my friend actually had a PS3. We used to play Black Ops 1 Zombies on there all the time. I went over.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what about you, Nightmare?
What's up?
What about you? Like, what was your first contact with video games? Was it like at your house or a friend's house?
It was at my house. It was like my older brother used to play it more so than me. And like kind of like as I grew up, I would kind of get into it. Like, oh, I want to play on the computer. And like I'm just pressing random buttons. I don't know what's happening. But like he kind of introduced it to me. And then from there, I just got addicted, hooked on Zelda, Sonic, like Mario, all that stuff. I just played the shit out of that.
Well, actually, it's pretty interesting that you're into Zelda because there's something else that I want to talk about. It's going to come up later, but it's cool to know that you like have a bit of a history with that game because there's a similarity between that and something else that I was going to bring up in relation to Legends. But that's good to know. What about like, how did you guys meet? Like, because I knew Sick before I knew you, Nightmare, because we used to play rates together. And I do remember actually when you started Sick, when you started looking for people to speedrun, I think we were part of a party, like Ghosts of Tsushima.
yeah,
You guys
whatever.
knew each other back then? Like,
Yeah, the very first big one that was like had a bunch of people in it, and then I remember you posting like you're looking for people that want to speed run, and that's my first memory of you like getting serious about speed running. And this is way before I got into, because I honestly I used to hate Nightmare. I used to not like Nightmare. I was like a raids person, but I got into play Nightmare later on. But how did you guys meet?
you want to say it, bro?
Yeah. So back in the 25 wave days, like
Nice.
everyone knew, at this point, everyone knew the rotations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 Hunters, 2 Ronins. So I just went in a random game. It was Frazier, Knight, and I forgot who else. But we literally just played, and we got like 22 minutes, which is really good time.
Damn.
And that's how I met.
Wait, I don't. Wait, for real?
Yeah, but I don't think we actually met like that. I think I sent you a friend request after, and then I invited you to play with
Bro, here's the way I remember it, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
So, it was like, you remember El Papa, right? El Papa's like this OG player.
Yeah.
Anyways,
El Papa Patron.
El
Yeah, I
Papa
remember
Patron,
him.
yeah. That's the guy. So, basically, bro, back then in 25 Waves, Phil Party was like a networking kind of thing. Everybody was on Phil Party. It's not like nowadays where it's just dead. Everybody was playing Phil Party, and like people actually knew what was happening, what was going on, like with the rotations and stuff. So I met Papa through that, and like, you just keep meeting people and all that. And then one day, I think it was, who was it? It was you, Sick, Papa, and Addy.
Addy.
Remember
Shores
that?
of Vengeance,
Shores?
Because our teammate couldn't play that day.
That's where I remember. Yeah, the guy that you usually play with, he couldn't play.
Yeah.
So they ended up inviting me, or El Papa invited me. And that was my first contact with Sick. Because we played that day, and I think we got rank 1.
It was like a
Didn't
Monday,
we?
bro.
Or like-
we got rank
or maybe-
1, and it stayed rank 1 the whole time.
No way.
Yeah, it just stayed, bro.
We couldn't beat it.
Dude,
with our,
Which
like,
was
normal
huge for me,
team.
bro. I've never been... Bro, I was nowhere near top 40, 50 if I was lucky. Up until that point. Because I never really had a team. I just played Phil Party or with any random people who would invite me. Until that day where, like, they got me in, and then we just get rank 1 within the first day.
That is wild because 22 minutes for 25 waves is insane.
I know, that was crazy, bro.
Those,
Yeah.
dude, like especially for a non-organized, no rotation, just meeting with randoms.
Yeah. But we knew what to do,
That's
right? So
crazy.
we were playing Hunter, and it was all about like the Hunters back then. The Ronins mattered too, but not as much. It just really mattered how fast the
The
Hunters
200
cleared
rotation.
their waves. The Ronin just go in between camp and mine, just back and forth, blowing the snow.
And this is before people figured out like crouching for bombing and stuff, right? This is like,
All that, yeah. This was early days, bro. No
Okay.
Ronin. Like, nobody knew the Ronin was way faster than Hunter.
What's your first
At that point.
recollection of like any sort of meta developing? Because I know you probably were following, I guess because that's what everybody was looking at. That was our only reference for speedrunning was like Liquid and 7D and Makin and Indigo. Like, but like, do you guys have any recollection of your first, okay, this is what these guys are doing. Let's try something new. Let's try building up like on what they're doing.
Yep, I remember.
Did?
They started posting videos, and we were like watching. Where I was like, oh shit, this is how you're supposed to rotate the things to make
That's
it go
how they
fast.
do it. Bro, when I first saw the auto aim shit, you know where you hold the explosive arrow above where they're supposed to spawn? So then it drops down on their head.
Yeah.
Like you just insta spawn headshot.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like that shit right there. Like that little detail is something. Like I think I was watching Seven stream when I saw that, and that in general just made me realize like, yo, auto aim is actually busted. Like why am I not using this shit? So I just started using it after that.
Auto aim ever in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Red Dead, bro.
A little too strong, some might say, because, you know, there's always
With the
complaints
barrels,
about the barrels, or the little the flame things, you know, the
the traps, bro.
the trap,
the benefits outweigh all of that, bro. To be honest with you, like it's way too valuable to turn down.
I don't know, like, I mean, there's only a few things that I think are problematic, and I think that's one of them. And I don't know if, I mean, I don't know what they were thinking, because maybe it was just, I mean, I would be super interested in interviewing some of the people that work on Legends, because I know the guy just from like, there's one single interview with the head of Legends, which his name is Darren Bridgers, I think. And it's on IGN, and it was posted like ages ago. It's like 3 or 4 years ago. And it's pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll send you guys a link. But he's like the head of Legends at Sucker Punch. And there's so many questions that I would have, but I would be super interested to know how they developed Legends to be, and of course they conceptualized it to be a certain way. There's emphasis on things, you know, like the basic mechanics are so different from the main game, which is something that I see a lot of people struggle with when they transition over. It's like, how do I not suck? It's like, this is so difficult. I was so good at the campaign. And it's like, well, campaign is all about melee, and this is all about range. So that's the first thing you have to realize.
Yeah.
So, but I would be interested to ask those guys, like, well, first of all, like, nobody cares. Like, how are you going to have the pressure of the oncoming waves that grow stronger and with like faster intervals between the waves, and then you have you prioritize the fire trap things and the barrels? It's like, how do you come up with those two in the same equation?
Bro, I swear to God, bro, maybe this is placebo. I don't know what the fuck it is. But whenever I'm intentionally trying to go for the barrel, it's all eyes on the Oni, on the whoever the fuck's in front of me. It's not sticking to the barrel. It's like it reads your mind and it goes opposite to what you want. So many times that's happened to me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's annoying, man.
Yeah, but that, honestly, I don't think that should exist. Or there should be
it's silly, bro. It's silly.
There should be a setting to turn that off, like just prioritize enemies always, and that would be such an easy fix. Do you guys...
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Why?
Seriously doesn't. Yeah. I mean, do you guys have any other things that you would change about Legends, just off the top of your head?
Customizability, bro. Like, it's too rigid.
Oh, yeah.
It's too linear. If I could just, like, make up my own spawns, or, like, not even just that, allow me to literally, you remember when they had the time date glitch? Well, I don't know if it was a glitch, but basically you could change the date on your PlayStation.
Yep.
And it would take you back to whatever week that was with the same spawns.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That is honestly, like, invaluable, because it allows you to play, like, whatever week you want, whatever spawn you want, different rotation, different all this. Like, it's, like, endless possibility, essentially what it is. Like, that alone. And it's not even something to design. It's a glitch that's basically, like, inconsequential to them or the gameplay or the balance or anything like that, and they just took it out for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think... What this is, you're talking about after 15 waves was implemented.
This is
right?
after Icky. Like, Icky dropped, and then a couple days or weeks later, they patched it.
Yeah, because before that, for people that didn't know, it was 4 maps, and the spawns were always the same. They never changed.
Yeah.
And after Icky, they changed it to 15 waves and randomized spawns every week for the leaderboards. But I'm not saying that that's the only reason, but one of the things that I could say is probably why is, or maybe they'd never even heard of this, but I remember me and my friends, we used that exploit to play the new maps before
The
they
maps
released.
early.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Everybody was doing that.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was a reason, like, or it was even on the radar.
It probably
but
was the reasoning, but I don't like the amount of like possibilities, or just the amount that they took away wasn't. I don't think it was equitable to what people were doing. Okay, they played the map early. Who cares, man? Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I guess in my opinion.
Man, if they just added a customization mode to where, like a custom match mode, to where you can pick any map and then customize the spawns, the modifier, that would have made the game so much better.
Modifier, all that. Yep. Literally,
Dude.
that's all you need.
Well, how specifically? How do you guys think it'll make it better? Is it because it would allow you to basically come up with your own meta rotation where you have your ideal spawns and you're able to just get the best possible run? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like fastest possible.
Yeah.
Every map. Boulder, obelisk, every spawn. Twilight.
Dude.
And
What-
just optimize it out.
What do you guys think? Okay, what you're thinking also, like, could that also be a thing where you could customize objectives to even make it faster?
Even that too, yeah. That'd be real,
Dude.
bro. Because every map has a headshot objective. Like Hunter is just there for 25 out of 25. That's it. You get 25 out of 25, your job's done. You still got to be in the map, but that's all you're good for,
Yeah. Well, so what are you thinking is the best achievable time if you had that ability to customize?
Like
Just like-
everything perfect, like how we want
Like for
it.
Twilight?
Yeah, just like Twilight, everything you want, like just off the top of your head, ballpark figure.
8.
Sub 9 for sure.
45.
8. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be sub 9 for sure.
Okay, so what about like even getting rid of the time between waves, like after boss
Oh
waves?
man.
Oh, bro.
Rampage
It'd kind of
inducer?
be a shit show at that point. Yeah,
And
literally,
then-
bro.
And with ammo points the way that they were before they nerfed them.
Oh man.
You wouldn't get your shit back, your sticky back, or like it would just be too chaotic. I don't even know if it would be better
If you
like
could
that.
customize yourself
Like,
to
it
have
would
like
just be-
infinite bombs still. And then
Okay,
just
at
set
that
the
point,
spawn.
just one shot everything, bro.
Make every wave triple obelisk.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, make every wave triple obelisk, bro. You wouldn't even need pickups. You just everyone just smoke or caltrop.
Yeah.
Dude. Like, so what's that? What does that look like? 6 minutes?
Maybe.
Not even-
Yeah, you're,
It's a lot of time.
bro,
lost in
less.
between.
If there's so much time. There's like 4-5 minutes almost.
Yeah.
Probably 3 to 4 minutes, I'd say. Just on waiting around, like, and shit.
Just pure streaming like the whole time. Just never stop.
Just
Stopping throwing bombs. Oh yeah.
About
damn.
to go through like 10 controllers in one game.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this brings me to one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, which is what do you guys think? How do you envision Legends 2? Because I mean, obviously, they're working on Legends 2. The first one, nobody asked for it, nobody knew about it. They kind of just dropped it on us, and it was free. So, one thing that I would personally would want them to do is, I mean, I can't really ask for much because, I mean, it was free, right? So I don't really feel like, we have, I mean, the fact that we even got as many updates past the raids, which were supposed to be the last thing, is amazing, from their side of things. Like, they didn't have to do it, but they did it. They gave us Platinum 7. They gave us a bunch of stuff for free. But long term,
Yeah.
I want Legends 2 to be more sustainable and get more support. So, well, first of all, gameplay-wise, what do you guys would want them to implement for Legends 2 as far as, maybe like keep the same game modes? I would personally love if they gave us a way, like what you're saying, customize, but also gave us 25 waves back, because that was something that I really liked.
Yeah. Like a legacy mode.
So, Exactly, dude. And they, I mean, I get it. They did it for the people that didn't have the time to do a full run, because those used to take an hour with randoms, but they didn't have to take it away from us, who were already into it. So legacy mode would have been great to keep. Like, it would have, like, all the assets are there. Literally, it costs them nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about you guys? Like, first of all, the melee versus ranged, controversy. Like, what would you guys want to see for Legends 2?
Man. I was thinking if they could just add on to this Legends, like a huge update for Legends 2, that would be cool. Like all new classes, like 6 new maps, just added on to this. Like 4 new classes.
But you're thinking gameplay stays the same?
I mean, gameplay's so money right now, I don't know what to change.
Yeah. That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, it's like what we want to happen versus like what's actually going to happen. For me, it's pretty clear, like they're trending in a direction. At least you could see with all the nerfs that happened. They're trending in the direction where, like, okay, they want to level down range, because the general player base, they mainly just do melee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're like a fraction of who's playing the game, the people who play like speedrun and all that shit.
Yeah.
So, like, they're more catering towards them, so they're more likely going to like focus more on the melee aspect than range. That's what I'm predicting, at least. I don't think the gameplay is going to be similar to what we got right now, just off that fact alone.
Okay. Well, what about, because for a while people were saying, and this is even before Icky, people were saying that it was just kind of boring that you only had 2 classes if you wanted to speedrun, and what's the point of having 4 classes at that point? And so people were saying, well, make it so that Assassin is more, needed in some way, or Samurai.
When it comes to, like, speedrunning, bro, there's always one thing that's going to shine out. Speedrunning is all about how to do it in the fastest time possible with, like, the least amount of work in the most efficient way possible. So just off of that, like, framework, it's always going to be, okay, I need to find the best thing for the job.
Yeah.
So just off of that, like, not everybody can shine at the same thing. And if you want to highlight just survival, you're oblivious to, like, the other game modes of, like, where Assassin literally shines. Look at Story Leaderboard. He's literally there all, like, 7 days a week for a whole 16-week cycle. He's always there. For raids, he dominates, all this other stuff. Like, they're just fixated on this one aspect. I don't know. They don't look at the rest of the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree, because it's not like everybody has to have their place, the place in the spotlight at the same place, right? So I agree that Assassin definitely shines. And, I mean, all of them do, especially after... I mean, if anything, I think that they were very aware of that when they gave Samurai Bomb Pack, because he was kind of the one that was left, like, in the... Yeah. Like, for the first version of Legends, if you played Samurai, you were just like a melee hardcore person. I only knew like 2 Samurai mains back then. And because nobody... I mean, yeah, it's got a cool ult, but other than that, it's like everybody's destroying waves with range.
I was low-key one of them, bro.
Really?
Before I started, like, speed, I played Samurai. Like, that was my guy, bro. That's all I played.
Dude, but it was, I mean...
I was doing, like, the melee, the water katana, like, all that shit. I was all about that.
Dude, but it was cool to see some people actually be inventive with Samurai. I remember the first time I ever saw anyone double ult was Disaster. I don't know if you guys remember that guy.
Yeah.
He had a video of, like, he was doing the skipping stone Samurai, and he just chucked, built his ult. He had like 5 results, chucked a sticky, barrel in front of him, and boom, double ult. And I was like, that is the coolest shit.
Yeah, it was at Outpost, right? He was just sticky the barrel, double ulted in like 44 seconds.
Yep.
I was like, holy shit.
Yep. Dude, that was sick.
Yeah.
I still remember, like, he posted that shit on Facebook, because that was the first That was the first time I ever saw that anywhere. Like, even before YouTube, like people started using that on speedruns. Like way before that, way before Bombs for Samurai, he did that. So it was cool to see people get creative and try to make Samurai more viable back then. But
yeah. Skipping Stone Samurai, bro. That was the meta.
Yeah, but okay, so going back to a little bit about like what I was asking you guys about sustainability for if there, I mean, actually that's a really cool idea, which I hadn't thought about. If they just made Legends, just keep it in the same hub and just add to it, that would actually fix things. Because what we have is, I mean, I don't want to see, because this is another thing that could happen. Like, if Legends 2 is not as good, you're going to have people just stick around, and then just keep doing what they're doing in Legends. So why not just add things to what we have, and instead of like trying to split the player base between two online modes, and then one of them is going to get relegated invariably.
Yeah.
And then maybe even like, server shut down, which would be really sad. But I mean, then again, there's stuff like Factions, the multiplayer for Last of Us, which is 12 years old now, and it's still going. Like that. I played that game not that long ago, and I got matched with people within seconds. So people are still playing the shit out of that game.
Yeah, I wish they didn't cancel the second one, man.
Dude, I was so stoked on that one. Like, Last of Us 1 and 2 are one of my favorite. Like, both of them I consider them to be basically the same. Like, I don't split them into two. Like, to me, they're just one big game, I guess.
Did you see the leaks for 2 or no?
I did. I couldn't resist. Yeah, I did go on.
Bro, I went into a raw. I'm so happy I did, bro, because that was a lot. To realize that before, I don't know. It's like, it's a big reveal to have it and then go into the game knowing it, But
I honestly, I don't know if I would do it differently. Tell you this, the reason that I even bought a PS4 was because I wanted to play Last of Us 2, because I played the first one and then didn't play any games for 7 years. And then they announced 2, and I'm like, there's no way I'm not playing 2. So I bought a PS4 just to play it. And that was going to be one game that I would play, and then that was it. But I thought about it for a minute, but there's like so much talk about it. You really had to try hard to not get spoiled, because
I was fighting for my life, bro, to avoid that shit.
Yeah, ultimately I caved, and I did go and read the spoilers were, but it didn't really surprise me, because of like, if you pay any attention to the first game, you kind of see it coming.
I knew it was coming, but the way that it happened, I didn't expect that.
Oh, yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect that.
Well, I didn't see how it happened. I just saw as far as like Joel dies at the beginning, and that was it.
That's it? Okay, that's not too bad.
So like the full impact of that scene, like even if you know how it happens, I feel like it's still so, like, the tension, and it's just so difficult to, like, emotionally, it's like, holy shit, it's so heavy. But
for sure.
But yeah, what the fuck is my point? Oh yeah, I really was, because they were developing that side by side with Last of Us 2. And so when they canceled it, I was like, well, great. You've had us all this time waiting for a game that you're just going to cancel. That's great. Thanks.
That was disappointing.
So I don't know if they're going to reuse some of those assets or no, for any future games, maybe for Last of Us 3. But yeah, it was a bummer. But yeah, so I was thinking more along along the lines of, what if they had, because this is something that I remember saying, and then people also, I had a bunch of people saying, yeah, I definitely would buy if they had more, let's say, a raids pack where you can buy more raid chapters, or like something. Maybe it's not the best solution, but like something to where they get money for giving us more content. So I don't know what that would look like.
Yeah.
Some people like skins,
Skins, yeah. Anything that's like not
pay to win.
I guess doesn't break the game.
Yeah.
Pay to win, essentially.
Because what was the last thing? I think that First Descendant, that was like a game that got pretty popular, and it's free, but it gives, you buy skins and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Or can you buy other things?
You can buy skins. You can buy the upgrade materials that are like hard to get. So even though that game was free, they made like way more money than they would have if they just sold it for like $60.
Oh yeah,
way more.
Yeah, 'cause I've heard some people that we have, friends that play Legends, of all of us, that spent like money or like I don't know. I know that it's not pay to win. So it's up to you if you want to, drop however much money on skins or whatever upgrade materials, which is cool. I think that would be cool for Legends to have something where you could support their ongoing development of the game, and then you get more content.
Yeah, I think they need that, bro. If they want to like do anything long term, can't be free.
And I don't know about you guys, but I think that Legends 2 has kind of been influential to other games, stuff that I've seen. I was playing the network test for the new Elden Ring, Night Rain, and there's some things that I saw definitely like a similarity with Legends. And so I wonder if it was like even on the radar, or there's just things that happen just because game development has overlaps, but yeah, I'd like to think that Legends has influenced like different multiplayers, because it's a solid game. Like we've all put tons of hours into it, and there's something special about it. I don't know.
Hopefully it has, man. Because this game is so unique. I've never played anything like it, like the Legends mode.
Do you think it's because, obviously the combat, right? But what else do you think is personally so appealing to you?
Speed running, like Nightmare Survival, like you have a team, make a rotation, just go to a spawn and kill the wave as fast as possible. Like I've never played a game like that.
So is this your first time speed running, like at that sort of high level?
Yes.
Gotcha. What about you, Nightmare? Was that also the first time?
Yeah, first time for sure. Yeah.
But like, I think also not only that, but the difficulty level. They just nailed so many things, and it almost seems like effortless when you play it. But when you stop and think about it, it's just. There's just a lot of elements that it couldn't have been a coincidence. I think that the people that developed Legends, like there's a lot of love, there's a lot of passion, I think, that was put into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like the synergy that you get with different builds. I like how all the classes play. Like they have similarities, but they're also very unique. Shine in different areas. I think that's important. That they don't all play the same.
So beyond that, I think it's also the element of the multiplayer, and then just getting to know other people. I guess for you guys, it's I think there's something of a camaraderie that develops between people that are like high level players, and I think that's also part of the appeal. For a lot of us, even if I personally I think I'm like decent at the game, but I'm not like on your guys' level by any means. But I think for a lot of really high level players, there's that, okay, this person, it's like, similar minds kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like speed running with like a good team. There's nothing like it. It's like super addicting.
Yeah. Because it's part of what we were talking with Seven and Liquid. It's like when there's teams that you have like these personalities that like on paper maybe shouldn't work, but they kind of complement each other. And then this like synergy emerges, and it's like a kind of a rare balance that I guess once you play enough, you kind of recognize it. But yeah, I honestly I think it's also part of it was the fact that the game came during the pandemic, and there's a lot of people who are just like stuck at home, and you ended up having all this time and
for sure
nothing else to do.
Everyone would just play all day together.
Yeah. And
Bruh.
I think like in a way I mean, for a lot of people, it was an outlet, for social interaction. I never played any online games with anybody before Legends came out, so it was definitely new to me. Like you were saying, Nightmare, that you're coming from Destiny, so you were already used to that.
Yeah. It was probably more like because it's a smaller community, right? Destiny had, I want to say, like probably more players, so you come across like the same people on this game, right? So it's more of like, I guess, personal connection. Like you get to know people better. It's not like you just play with this one guy and you just never see him again.
Yeah. But as I was saying, oh yeah. So I guess, driving to the fact that, like, for a lot of people, I mean, myself included, it kind of became like a therapeutic way to deal with the pandemic, where you just, you had something to do and you had a really good time with friends, and you had this really good, almost like addicting gameplay. And it's meaningful that way, and I think that's why it's special to me. I don't know about you guys personally, but to me, that's one of the things that I took from the game coming out when it did. It was that it offered me that sort of layer of social connection that I was missing because of what was happening in the world, and and so that made it so that it's I feel like I'm gonna remember this game even when I'm like, I don't know, 80 years old, if I make it to 80 or whatever, like, because it's like right now I think we don't appreciate the fact that it's like a lot of friendships and a lot of good times that were given to us by this game. But like looking back, I think it will be more significant, even if we don't have the insight right now to think about it.
For sure.
But well, what do you guys think about? I guess I've been curious to know what everybody wants from video games, like going forward, because it seems like things are evolving to where, video games, when I was first playing them, they were very basic ways of entertainment, and they've evolved and gotten way more complex. And right now it's like to the point where the first time I played Last of Us, I was like, this is a movie you can play, basically. And it's really well acted, really well written. You can, and if you take games like Souls games, where you can discuss the lore for like days, It's so, and there's like all this time and effort put into making these games like deeply meaningful, like, Elden Ring. Take Elden Ring and look at all the historical influences that they bring into the game, and you don't think about it when you're playing it. It just becomes this one layer of perception, and you're thinking about what's happening in front of you. But it creates this immersive experience where it makes the whole world feel more real. And so, do you guys think that it's going to keep? Because I feel like, when I was a kid, video games was like a thing that kids did, like younger people, like it was more youth culture. and now
Yeah.
you see a lot of older people. Like, it's funny because
It's mainly older people, right, who play it. I think the average age of like a gamer is like 30 or something. Probably like late 20s.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, there's still a lot of younger people. But
Yeah, for sure. It's like a mixed bag, but I don't think it's exclusively like for kids.
Yeah.
At least not presently.
But so yeah, I was what was I saying? Yeah, so I guess fuck, I lost my train of thought.
You were asking like what we wanted out of
Yes.
video games, I think.
Yeah, so what do you guys think, like, personally, do you guys think that it's like a good place where we're at right now, where things have gotten to the point where they're realistic enough and things are just like optimized enough, or do you guys think that there could still be more, it could still be pushed further, I guess?
I think it can be pushed further. It's going to be pushed way further. Like, have you seen this? There's this new game. It's like like you're a cop, but the graphics look so real. Looks like real life. There's a game like that, and they're just going to keep getting better, making more games like that for the next years.
So I guess the first thing that comes to mind when I think of, and this is something that got brought up a little bit during the last episode, which is Seven was actually saying that GTA 6, when it comes out, if it's what people expect it to be, it's going to be another like major influence and kind of like a shift maybe that's going to propagate, throughout the industry. So I think that's kind of what you're saying. It's things start getting to be, because Souls games and or a Ghost, it's more like a fantasy world in a way, whereas GTA, it's kind of a fantasy, but it's more grounded in reality. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that the fact that there's people playing games. Oh, because I was actually. I remember now what I was going to say. I was watching this video of like this older like ex-Marine guy. He probably was like 60 or 70, and he was playing COD, and just like he was like a real like sniper.
Right?
Yeah.
I know that.
He was like
guy.
sniper. Dude.
It's like Sniper Grants or
like,
something on YouTube.
yeah, something like that. And I was like, holy shit, this guy's like a real like sniper, and he's sniping players from across like buildings.
He was loving it, bro.
Oh my god.
He's like going back, he's having flashbacks and just like loving that shit.
Which I thought was great. And so like good for him. I think it's cool that people can get into games no matter what the age. It's not it's what I was saying. It's like they become so realistic that something like that can happen, whereas before, maybe 20 years ago that wouldn't have been a thing. But I think it's good. I think it's good that more people can get into them. Well, one thing I was going to ask you, Naimir, you're going to school for like medicine?
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, because like one of the things that I've noticed, and this is going to sound like random, but one of the things that I've noticed, particularly about when I watch your runs, especially when it's like with teams and there's like a voice chat, you're always like super like cool and collected. And I think that's sort of like a trait of yours, like your character is just like that. And so it's when I heard that you were going to school to be a doctor, I was like, that makes so much sense, because that's kind of like a thing that would be like a valuable trait, because
like calm under pressure and all that.
Exactly. So I don't know, like, do you feel like that's in a way, like, have you always wanted to be a doctor?
No, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's mainly something that like I was kind of good at, but not really had a passion for. That kind of makes sense.
Okay. Because
it's like, yeah, I wasn't always like striving, like, like, oh yeah, I love this, I love medicine, all that stuff. It was just kind of like, okay, like I'm kind of good at biology, science, and all this stuff. Let me see if like medicine could work, and that's just kind of where I'm at.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, I guess what's interesting to me a lot, and this is something that I brought up on the last episode, is like there's this correlation between really high level players and this, like, you know, how smart like they are as people, and it always blows my mind to see when you have like one of those moments, like kind of like what you were saying, when with the auto aim, you know, for the headshot, for the ability of the hunter, is like when people realize those little things that you're just like, holy shit, how did you think of that? And it's like, it's so smart. And that's just like a small example, but that usually seems to go with everybody that's kind of like on a higher level. And
the attention to detail. It's like very observant.
And it's cool because you can find people from like all kinds, like all different walks of life. And it reminds me, I don't know if you guys ever seen this movie called The Gambler. It's like Mark Wahlberg. And he's talking about, he's like a teacher and he's, you know, teaching his class. And then there's this one guy, he's trying to make an example out of like, he's like a English teacher. And they're talking about like who is the best student in his class and who's the only one that could have a shot at a career as a writer. And he tries to frame it within the fact of, I mean, within the how it's like a lot of it is intelligence, but that intelligence is kind of like random and like a gift, and it's indiscriminate, right? So I think it's really interesting because he uses another student as a reference point, and he's like, hey, so you were like really good at tennis, right? And he's like, yes. He's like, when did you realize that you were like good? And he was like, well, when I was able to beat like whoever, like my instructor. And he's like, and then what was your reaction to that? He's like, well, this is easy for me. And so I think it's really cool when there's to see like just natural talent happen, you know, and you see that in video games a lot, and you see that in every sphere of human interaction. But like in video games, it's just fascinating to see. It's kind of like what you guys say. I remember watching you like do like a perfect solo, and you're talking about like IQ, like barrel IQ and stuff like that. And there's like these little terms, right, that come up, and it's just super interesting to me how a lot of this is shared, but a lot of it is just like someone having like a eureka moment in the game. And so just I guess I just wanted to talk to you guys about that and see like if you felt like that way, or if that's something that you've ever noticed before or even thought about before.
Like the little stuff that kind of like gets swept under the rug, like, oh yeah, we figured this out.
Yeah,
but like
it's all about the little stuff, bro. It all adds up.
Yeah.
All the little just.
I swear it'll be like, oh, if you throw your bomb from here instead of here, or throw your sticky on this wave instead of this wave, or just like tiny little details that can save so much time or have such a big impact. Like,
yeah.
It's a very like delicate game when it comes to that.
Or like if you know the guy before you is gonna wipe on his second hit, you can throw before the ult so your shit hits perfect. Or if you know he's gonna wipe on his fifth hit, you can adjust the time for that too. Like the little things.
Yeah. So do you guys think that trying to reframe my question. So do you guys think that before this game, like did you see yourselves as being like particularly good at video games? Because I think my question, I mean, I took a really long route to come at my point, right? Which is, when did you realize that you were really good at this game, or even like better than 99% of the rest of the players out there? Like, was it through playing with higher level players where you felt like you could reach your potential? or was it just like an individual moment where you were like, yes, I'm really good at this game?
I've never really like thought back like, yo, I'm this good, I'm that good. I just like see what I could do and just improve on it. Wherever that takes me, I guess, is where I land. But I'm not like constantly like self-reflecting like, oh, I'm this good now, or no, now I'm like at this level, now I'm at this level. See what I could do and then like constantly trying to improve. I don't know what it is about this game, but like it's so addicting to try and like do better. Like I guess when it comes to speedrunning, oh, we can save this time here, save this time here, like add this shit up. Oh, I could save this amount of time total.
I think as far as speedrunning Nightmare Survival goes, anyone can be really good. It's just about teamwork and like just knowing what to do in the rotation. Story and Perfect Soul, that's a different story. Like you got to know what you're doing.
A lot of it is muscle memory though. Like it's to the point where you don't really think about what you're doing because you already know, like it's automatic. It's like a reflex essentially. You know what I mean? So yeah, so just practice at that point.
Yeah, it's like after so many hours, you just know.
Yeah, I think at that point it just kind of becomes like second nature, right? You're able to, which is also super interesting to me when you're able to get to know a game so well that you can anticipate things happening that would normally seem very random. And I think that's one of the things that's really cool about high level playing is that when people can adjust to things not going the way that they expect, and then you could still come out on top. I think that's definitely like a trait that not a lot of people exhibit.
Like if something goes wrong and you got to like change something, you're like, if you miss some bombs, you just got to salvage the wave. Whatever.
And it's so cool to see someone. I mean, you see it so much in speedruns where like, oh, it's like I lost my sticky or whatever. It's like it's not gonna clear. It's like, wait, hang on, it'll clear.
Carriage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess, I mean, other than that, I don't know, like, I feel like we've covered all the bases. Is there anything else you guys would like to, I mean, because I could actually ask you a little bit more to expand a little bit more about what you're saying, Sick, as far as story and soloing being different, for people that might not be as familiar with that. I mean, because there's a lot of people that get into, I think Nightmare is the thing that most people get into. And like you said, it's easier because the meta is out there and you just have to go out and watch some videos and
exactly.
See what the builds are. It's more accessible, but like, how would you say that soloing and story is
honestly
different?
Even stories like that, like survival, like you watch videos and do it, but you got to move at a certain speed in story if you want to compete like at the top. But solo, like perfect solos, there's a skill in that too where you just gotta know like when to throw your kunais, who to ability, and clear the wave fast enough to get to the next wave and all that, and barrel IQ, like where to put the barrels.
Yeah. So as far as like any sort of like advice that you guys have for people that want to get better at Nightmare or any of the, I mean, because you guys are all proficient in pretty much every mode. So anything that you guys think, oh, this could be good advice for someone that's trying to get to that level of high, competitive high play.
I think the advice is to just watch whatever video is already out there.
Yeah.
And all you really need to do is just replicate it at the end of the day. I mean, it's been optimized to the point where everything's out there. I doubt any big discovery is going to be made that's like not cheating or getting a billion score on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Oh,
like, it's just
watch the videos, learn the controls,
it's all out there.
like
learn the controls. Yeah.
and practice some streamage, like throwing bombs fast, you know. That's all you got to do. And get a good team.
That's actually, I think that's probably.
That's the thing. If you don't have a team, then it doesn't really matter how much you practice. You need the 3 other people.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
A lot of people will play with you too. Like if you ask, like any plays team or one of us, like we'll play with you if you want to learn.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, those. I mean, there's going to be the handles, I guess, on the video. So if you guys want to hit them up for advice or for any kind of tips or something like that, or maybe if you guys have the time, like you said, you might run a few with them. But I was actually one thing before I forget. I was gonna say, I think for most people that kind of know a little bit about the community and like since Legends has been a thing, I think most people will divide the eras of speedrunning as the first wave, which is Liquid and Maki and Seven, Indigo, Yapua, and all those guys, and then your guys are like the second wave, which is the team that was Sick, Nightmare, Scooter, and Maz. And I don't think, I mean, after that, I think it's just kind of didn't really evolve into a third wave. It just kind of became, I mean, I guess
just like whoever can play and get rank 1 gets rank 1. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny because like I think at some point there was kind of like a more of a competitive element between the teams. Like in the beginning there was the Japanese team was competing
Picky
constantly
Eater,
with the
Reezy, Liquid, our team, After Cling, all them. A lot of teams back then. Now there's only like 2 or 3 every week, if that.
But I feel like it's mostly like you said. It's just high level players playing with each other, and it's not as competitive. I don't think. I mean, it is, but it's friendlier in a way. I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's competitive.
It's definitely a lot friendlier. Sometimes. Depends. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
it can be if you set up a tournament, then obviously it's artificial, but it's still there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's totally there because I was lucky to be invited to a couple of those tournaments, and it was a lot of fun. But it's definitely more. I mean, not that it's not friendly, because I know you guys, everybody was still like joining in on different parties, and kind of just hanging out in the voice chat. But yeah, there was definitely. I mean, because. If anything, if not for anything else, because of the fact that there's money involved, for the prize.
Right.
So people are like wanting to get that prize, which is cool. It's like a nice little incentive. But as far as cheating goes, what do you guys think? Like, what are your thoughts on? I mean, there's currently the one guy that always gets 10 million and gets that top spot.
He's getting a bill, bro, with a B.
Yeah, billion. 1.5 billion right now. But personally, I don't know. I don't mind it. Fuck, let them have their fun. But we all know who actually cheated, or who's actually rank 1.
Well, but so do you guys? So you just don't care? Like, is there any significance to the number 1 spot anymore, or like, would you rather not have that? Like,
in a perfect world, it wouldn't be there. But the reality is, at least for this as we are right now, I don't see Sucker Punch actually doing anything about it. It's just too much work without enough reward that they would get.
Yeah.
And in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, it says number 1 on the thing, but we all know it's cheated. I mean, it's a billion it's a billion score. It's ridiculous. So overall, I don't think it's a huge deal. At least nothing to get worked up over.
Yeah, and it's been there since the beginning, on and off.
Yeah.
Not this high level cheating, but time stoppage.
I mean, once you open it to PC, then
yeah. Every game with the leaderboard, bro. We're lucky there isn't more cheaters, honestly, because Call of Duty leaderboards, oh man, Returnal.
Bro, but the thing is about the cheaters is like, I wish people would kind of just ignore them and not say anything about them, because I guarantee you they would stop. You wouldn't see a single cheater if nobody gave a shit and nobody was complaining. They would all stop.
Yeah.
The thing that keeps them going is people making posts like, yo, this guy, whatever this guy's name is, Saline, he's like, yo, like, fuck this guy, he's a bitch, he's cheating, all this shit. Like, he likes that, bro. That's what he's doing it for.
That's the only reason they do it.
So when you give him that, it's just more incentive, it's more motivation. You just couldn't keep doing it. Like before, he would never do these crazy scores. It would always be 1/469,000, 1 second basically. He would always score 1 second, and then people started talking shit, and now he just went crazy. Oh, now we're doing 1 billion, 1.5 billion.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like they say, it's indifference is the worst kind of attention. So I think that's all they want. They want to get that attention.
That's all they're looking for.
And then that hate is kind of fuel to them. It's like, oh, well, I'm just going to keep doing it, and it's going to be worse as long as you're giving me that attention. But ideally, I would want them to have some sort of, I mean, because I know, for example, I mean, it's like you said, Sick. It's going to be present in every game, but I know that there's games. I think Destiny, I mean, you might know more about this, Nightmare, than I do, but I think Destiny is pretty, like, heavy-handed with cheating. I think they're more, maybe they penalize more, or I don't know.
Yeah, they have, like, I mean, they're still rampant in, like, online, like, the PvP parts, but yeah, even, like, I even hear, like, Call of Duty, like, they got so many cheaters, like, aimbot, wall hacks, all that shit, like, it's like every game suffers from it, you know? It's like, you can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's just your reaction to it that you can control.
Yeah. Well, shit, I think that's pretty much all the bases that I wanted to cover with you guys. Unless there's anything else you had in mind that you want to talk about a little bit.
You got anything, bro?
I kind of want to talk about like the samurai meta.
Okay.
And that was, bro, when the samurai like got bombs, I literally thought the Ronin was still going to be better because I thought the bombs were going to be so weak for the Sammy that wouldn't even matter. But obviously,
this is still, by the way, when we discovered it, it's on my channel. I think it's like a live stream.
Yeah. It's like, okay, this guy's gonna fucking try.
And you can still see our reactions to it. Like, they were clowning my ass, like, yo, Sammy's ass, bro, don't do it.
And then he wiped away. I was like, wait, what?
And it was, he's like, and then he tried it for the first time. I'll never forget it, bro. If you remember, like, it was Wave 12 on Howie is notorious for being, like, so shit.
Oh, yeah.
It just wastes so much time. It's like 10 purple Onis, whatever. And Sick does it with the Sammy for the first time, and he wipes it, bro. He wipes that shit clean. And then since that day, bro, like, that's where you realize, like, this shit was real.
12-2, yeah.
Dude, but also, yeah. I mean, it's still, now we've adjusted to the nerfs, but we have to remember that Raging Flame was a different animal with the patch, with the first patch for Icky, and then black powder bombs generated resolve, and you had 12. Yeah. You had a 12 bomb clip.
12 and 2 clip. Yeah.
Imagine Wave the Flame was still Ghost Weapon, mooning, like Wave 0, Obelisk, just mooning, like with the run. Imagine it was still Ghost Weapon. You just like melt them instantly.
Brother.
Dude. And then also 15 or 16 pickups.
Yeah. That shit was busted, man.
You pick up like twice for Wave 0 Villa. Caltrops, you just pick up.
Yeah, because they were like, they just figure they could reduce the waves by 10 and leave the same amount of pickups and think that that's going to be balanced. Like immediately, I think everybody was like panic mode at Sucker Punch. It's like, we got to fix this shit.
They're instantly on that.
Yeah, because they did try to bomb. They even tried to nerf concussions like for resolve gains, and then they fixed that shit in like a day. I think, because everybody was like raging on Reddit. It was like, no, you can't take
That
away.
was for the black powders, wasn't it? They took away black powders.
Yeah, it was.
Everybody complained, and then they just gave concussions extra resolve. I think that was the response to it.
Yeah, I do remember them like fixing things, but there was like literally a day where concussions did not generate resolve either, and then they fixed it like the same day or the next day because people were like furious.
Yeah. The thing is, like, at the time, we'd always say, yo, this is crazy, like, we can't speedrun anymore, like, it's dead, like, we can't do shit. And then, like, a couple of days later, it's like, okay, so I just doesn't matter.
I thought, like...
Like, you kind of just, like, work through it. You just go, like, you just thug it out, bro. Like, it didn't even make that big of a difference.
Like, bro, ain't no way.
You just adapt to it. Yeah. And then you just go faster. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else to add? I think we're coming up on, a little over an hour?
Yeah. I mean, just maybe something about the tournaments, bro.
Yeah.
I think one thing that we slept on was... So you know how tournaments are traditionally, right? It's like we have teams and they play. It's just like, regular leaderboard. You play for the whole week. Whoever gets rank 1 wins. That's usually how it's run. But I don't know if you saw, like, one of the tournaments we did on Twilight, we did like a different style. It was like you would have your teams, but they would play at the same time. Mm-hmm. They would play within a 1 hour time slot. And ideally they play like at the same time with each other. Like they both start at the same exact second. And within that 1 hour time slot, whoever gets the fastest run wins that round, I guess.
Oh, yeah,
it'll be like
cool.
It's like sudden round elimination kind of
Shout
thing.
out JD.
And yeah, bro, that is a fire idea. Like when you get it right, when you have the two teams playing at the same time, then like it's on a different level, bro. And I think it's sad that like we haven't been doing that.
Every tournament should have been like
for
that.
like all those years,
Wait, who was that? Who was that came up with the idea?
That was JD.
JD Drew.
Oh, JD, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to JD Drew. It's funny little anecdote about JD. I remember playing with him the first time. I was playing with May 5, and he was in the party, and he invited me. And he's like, "Hey, bro, just want you to introduce you to my boy here, JD. He's a noob in the Ghost community." And I'd never played with him before, and I just took him, at his word. And then I see this guy just obliterating waves. Like, there's no way this guy's new. But yeah, shout out to May 5.
May 5. Send you a picture of the lobby every time.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
There's so many good people, man. I'm super glad that I got into this game because I met a lot of really cool folks playing this. Just totally different vibes. And one thing that I think is really cool about these games is like, everybody has different ideas, different politics, religion, whatever. But I think it's really cool that we can just have a space where we can all just come together and just have like, cooperate and then have a win and then just enjoy that for what it is and not have to worry about anything else, because there's like, you got to find your way to just unplug, I guess, from shit in the real world for a second and just enjoy that.
Yes, sir.
But what were you saying? Wait, what were you saying before that? Because I feel like I had a follow up to that.
The tournaments.
You're saying, oh yeah, the tournaments. So I do remember you invited me to that last one, Nightmare. But I think I was going to be out of town, or it was like a really busy week for me at work, and I was like, I can't commit to like.
But yo, that's the nice thing about it. It's not like the traditional tournament. You got to play like whatever 5 hours a day, and grind to get a good score. It's literally just that 1 hour that you're playing, or 2 hours, whatever it is. and that's it. That's all you got.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you want to practice outside of that, but
I feel like if you had told me that, I would have been like, okay, if it's not like commit to playing the whole week and grinding it out, I would have totally done it. But you're just like, oh, okay, cool, you know. But like next time, if you guys need more people and you guys feel like inviting me, I definitely will do that because that sounds like a really cool, fun idea.
Yes, every tournament should be like this from now on.
Amazing.
The problem with the other tournaments is that it turns into an absolute grind fest. Like, for the top two teams, like, I'm talking 20 hours the last day I've done before against another team. It's brutal, bro. I hate that.
Oh, yeah. I remember, now that you say that, I remember, like, the first tournament I was invited to. I was playing with Fisher, and Fisher's like, oh, bro, I'm too tired. I need to go get some sleep.
You drink 2 liters of Coke?
Get an hour? Yeah. Okay, I had my Wiener Schnitzel. I'm good. Let's play. Shout out to Fisher. But Seven is like, no, bro, we gotta go fast, bro. Are you committed or what, bro?
Yeah,
man, I'm not as good as I think. I just realized that Caden is like the best impersonator in fucking Legends because he can do everybody so well.
You can, bro.
Yeah, he's insane.
Oh man,
you can.
Such talent. But yeah, I think that the tournament idea is really cool, and I hope you guys keep it going because I mean now that Ghost of Yote is coming out later this year at some point, we don't know what Legends is going to be like after that game comes out, so it gives us like this nice period of like enjoying what we have before things change.
Yeah, I should run at least one more before Yote drops.
Yeah. Run it on Blood and Steel. How about that? We never had a Blood and Steel tournament or Shadows of War.
Oh my god. But like with Shit Week, which is Orbs and fucking Tool Shortage.
That would be crazy tournament, bro. And have it not the hour setup, so you just have to grind it the whole week.
Fuck.
Just to really fuck you up.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's brutal. Oh man, but I hope, I really hope Sucker Punch. I know that they hired like a community manager guy. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen them be that active. Like, I do follow their Twitter and stuff. Like, I don't know like what they mean by community, but I do hope they pay attention to, what the player base is saying, like their expectations, and especially I feel like. I mean, I almost want to be consulted, like, for their second game. I actually live, like, 20 minutes away from Sucker Punch headquarters. And I would love to just go play test some new content and then give them some feedback. And it would be awesome if they... because, like, if you think about, like, From Software, they fly out, like, the top players or whatever to do their little... play test things, and I feel like Sucker Punch, especially with Ghost being such a huge franchise, and then the next one is going to be just as big. I feel like they should and they would benefit from having like guys like you Nightmare or you Sick or like any number of like good players come in and then play test and then give feedback. Because that's a valuable resource to them, like all those hours and all that like effort, development strategy, and like just knowledge about the game. It would be invaluable to them.
Yeah, that'd be great. They actually get
Yeah.
some people over there to give feedback.
I'm going to hope that somebody at Sucker Punch is watching this, and this is your opportunity. It's Sickening or Nightmare or we're all available. Well, I don't know about Nightmare. You're probably not as available, but
probably not. A little too far for that one.
Yeah. But plenty of players to choose from, I think. But yeah, dudes. I think this is a good place to end it. Unless you guys want to add something else.
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining in on this. Like I said, this is by far the most requested episode with both of you guys, and really thankful that you guys made the time to have this talk. And yeah, catch you guys next
Thanks for
time.
having us.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, bro.
All right.